You're now watching This AFC South Show, brought to you by Curtis Podcast Network, hosted by Curtis Brown, Blake Bellamy, Isaiah Michelli, and Jeff Steckel.
I'm not going to do it. You can go ahead.
Hello and welcome to This AFC South Show, number 87. Coming off a huge Week 16, and we are here to talk about it all. Titans, Texans, Jags, Jets, Colts, and Chargers finishing up as we're starting this here recording. Looking like the Chargers are going to go away with this one. But let's get into some things, channel news, channel updates, whatever. Like goal this episode, 40 likes, 40. That'll break the channel record as I don't even recall what the last one was. I think it was like 37. So we're going to roll with 40. And then you're going to go ahead and do us a big favor. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. And yeah. Let's get it. Start off with the Titans Texans. I was in attendance on Saturday. It was cold, but I fortunately sat in the sun, and that was really good because once I was in the sun the whole game, but once the shade of the stadium started to creep well over to like the visitors' sideline and inch its way up closer to me, that's when I noticed it was really cold. But we also bundled up in heavy layers, like all of the layers. I wore like 3 or 4 layers of sweatpants, 2 jackets, a hoodie, and a long sleeve underneath everything. At several points I was sweating. Okay. Your boy didn't take this shit lightly. Anyway. Now all the Titans fans in attendance seemed to be quite confused and baffled that this was happening against the Texans yet again. And I want to tell you, I'm not the braggadocious fan that shows up to my team's away game and is just an annoying asshole about it. I'm not. I'm gonna try to be as logical as possible about everything. There wasn't a chance in hell that Houston was going to lose that game on Saturday. There was just something about the day. I don't know what it was, but there was no way that was going to go down any other way. Even after that 48-yard touchdown run, when you guys in the chat were like, "Oh, Derrick Henry's getting it going," no, it wasn't going to happen. And lo and behold, we broke the 200-yard streak. F you, Derrick Henry. And we'll take that dub. You're welcome, Jags fans.
You only got 190. Well, 99, but no, I'm kidding.
He didn't get that much. He got 126.
You're somewhere. I don't know which one you're on your screen, but thank you, wherever you are.
Yes. He got 126 on 23 carries. One of those carries going for 48 yards and a touchdown. I will take those numbers. I will take that and be like, hey, that's a game well played, folks. But Blake, that really isn't even like my Texans take. That's just me just kind of ripping. Let's hear your Titans, boy.
I mean, it's bad. I mean, it's everything that could go wrong has been. Everyone's injured. No one's playing well. Todd Downing's still there. It's baffling. I know a lot of Titans Nation was talking about Rex Ryan's comments. Did you guys hear about that prior to the game?
Yeah.
So he was basically saying that, if these things happen, fire Todd Downing because he should have been gone. One of them was Derrick Henry had under 30 touches, fire him. If he's out of the game on third down, fire him, which, again, both those things happen. And then also if Malik Willis throws it for more than 15 times, which I believe he did, fire him.
23 attempts.
Yeah, so 23 attempts. Yeah, even Rex Ryan was like 15 max. Probably get like 8 completions out of that for like 11 yards and a fumble or a pick or something. But yeah, he's bad. It's hard to people are calling him a bust. I mean, he's a 3rd round pick. I mean, I don't even call a 3rd round pick a bust, especially when people considered him like his mom. This is the longest losing streak in Vrabel's coaching career, and it's the longest streak since 2015. So things are looking terrible in Nashville. If we lose out, it's going to be around 10th overall pick, which I guess that's the only bright side. I hope they go to the playoffs, but they don't deserve it. Let's be honest. They haven't beat any good teams, and even the wins they have had were ugly, except for the Green Bay game. And even then, Todd Downing was drunk. Titans haven't won since then. So yeah, there was this DUI. Downing got arrested. Man, we haven't won a single game. Things are looking real grim in Tennessee. If it tells you how bad it is, how much I love the Titans. Tickets were free to this game, and I was like, I'm good. It's not worth the money. It wasn't worth the money. Tickets were free.
Maybe Downing was drinking, and that's why y'all were winning. He needs to get back in the sauce.
I agree. I wouldn't advocate for anyone to do drugs or alcohol, especially while working, but Todd Downing's an exception. Whatever it takes. Bring Josh Gordon back. At least he can coach Todd Downing or something. Bring in Pac-Man Jones. Bring in Isaiah Wilson.
Bring Josh Gordon as the personal libations coordinator for.
He could be the strength and conditioning coach because everyone's injured on this team. There's so many injuries. It's kind of comical at this point. And then Derrick Henry's probably not going to play Thursday, which I don't even want to do the preview show for that one because the Titans losing this game. It's going to be ridiculous. Dennis Daly, that key match. I know this is a reaction show, but here's a little preview into the preview. We're going to have Dennis Daly against Micah Parsons. That is going to be primetime television. I am glad Tannehill's missing this game because he would be dead. Malik Willis is going to be running for his absolute life come Thursday, and it's sad. Basically. I want to see it. I honestly, this is one of those games that the Titans win, though, when everything's expected to get blown out, and this is the game that they end up winning, which I would love to see if they upset Dallas because, F Dallas. But, Jesus. It's bad. It's bad in Tennessee. At least Stonehouse is looking great. He got snubbed on the Pro Bowl. He's the alternate, but he will get first-team All-Pro. I'm pretty sure of that.
Yeah,
that's it for the Titans. We suck. It really is what it is, man. There's a couple. Okay, I'll give a bright side. Besides Stonehouse, another rookie, Jack Gibbon, undrafted rookie out of some high school or something. He went. I don't think he played anywhere really of substance. They call him Dr. Gibby. He's a 4.0 double major, and he apparently he was like a off-season guy that fan favorite, and he knew the playbook day one and was bossing people around, putting guys in their place and everything like that. And he showed out and was just lighting it up. Zach Wilson or Zach Cunningham is worth $13 million on the cap next year. Boot him. I say start Gibbons. The dude was wrecking people on Sunday or Saturday, whatever day we played. But he was the big bright side, Jack Gibbons, for sure.
Yeah, that deflected interception to him was a pretty big play.
Yeah, and that one he was everywhere. Every time he was in the ball in the game, he was near the ball, and that's a trait that's so underrated for the common fan, but defensive coaches love it. If you can be around the ball, that's what you want, and just find someone that can be a ball hawk, and he's one of those guys. He reminds me a lot of David Long and Jayon Brown, rest in peace.
Well, from my perspective, being there in the game, this game was always the Texans' game to lose. Davis Mills made some pretty incredible throws. That pass to Amari Rodgers late in the fourth quarter.
That was nice.
37-yard strike down the right sideline. It was put exactly the only place it could have been for him to make a catch and the run like he did. He had, I didn't even realize it, but he was only sacked one time, and that was Autry.
Yeah.
So
Autry's a beast, man.
Your first sack in 6 weeks.
Yeah, he hasn't played though.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Your first sack in how long since he's been injured? Yeah.
I think they've had one sack in that stretch.
Yeah, it was only last week. We went 3 games without it, and then we had a couple sacks on Herbert on last week.
There we go.
Okay.
It's been a weird week. Yeah, Autry, he's the key to that defense, man. Everyone thinks Sims is the leader, but it's really Autry's the dude. That team is way better when Autry's on the field. And the defense, honestly, they really haven't been that bad. They suck, but they're not that bad. It's just the offense can't help them out. I mean, the defense can only do so much. It sucks. Titans they need a whole makeover. They need a Bruce Jenner or Caitlyn Jenner type stuff on that offense.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's pretty intense.
Yeah, just
All
very.
right. So yeah, from coming back to my perspective on this,
Down under.
down under. I kind of expected the run game to do exactly what it did. Royce Freeman led the backfield, 16 carries, 32 yards. But honestly, some of those runs were absolutely punishing runs and crucial. Not like that they were any long runs, but I think he had a couple for like 4 yards. The Titans defense did come to play, but as per usual, the secondary was basically nowhere to be found on the crucial moments. Yeah, I would have to agree with you, Blake. I think the Titans need some sort of a makeover in this offseason. I see a lot of Titans fans now saying that Vrabel needs to go.
I disagree.
I don't agree with that. I think that it should be Downing and the strength and conditioning coach, 100%.
Don't get me
Whoever
wrong,
the
I
strength and
agree.
conditioning coach is, he should never get a job again.
Oh yeah.
2 years in a row, and you got over 170 people that have been on your injured reserve.
That's crazy. They lead in injured reserve. Most players on that
Not
played.
on
It's ridiculous.
Just 170 players in 2 different seasons, or in a span of 2 seasons.
The Ravens led in 2020, and I took that personally. Like,
Yeah, yeah, for real.
Yeah,
It's like the Titans were like, how can we break ourselves every week?
we got to be best at something. So
I think there's only like 3 players on the Titans that have played every game. It was like Austin Hooper, Morgan Cox, the long snapper, and Ryan Stonehouse. It's like that's about it. Like there's a handful of dudes.
Knock on
Yeah.
wood, man. He's still out.
Yeah, he's without him, the Titans wouldn't have won a game this year. It's bad.
No, I mean, he was bombing them. There was a couple punts during the game that he were a little bit more line drivey, but not necessarily. They were like a normal man's punt, not like a normal Stonehouse punt of like 1,000 yards.
That ball was hard as a rock, though. So like I expected, I was like he did pretty great underneath conditions because it was a bad week for kickers and punters this week. A
what I'm
lot
saying.
of misses.
Like in normal weather, the man's got a superhuman leg. When it's cold, he's just a regular guy, but he can kick the fuck out of it because that's still better than what most people could do in that kind of condition.
Yeah, and I like that he looks exactly like Morgan Wallen. Like he is a Tennessee Titan, goofy looking dude.
Yeah.
He's got a heck of a leg.
That's how you know that punter's going to be really good for a long time because he's
Yeah.
just goofy looking.
They just
I mean, look
smoked
at
cigarettes
Andy
on the
Lee.
sideline and everything.
Andy Lee for the Cardinals and 49ers, that guy is a goofy looking dude.
The Colts punter looks like exactly like Bill Burr, which is really weird.
That is weird. It's kind of like the drummer for Red Hot Chili Peppers looks like Will Ferrell.
Yeah, our main punter, what's his name, Roberto Sanchez, went on IR, I think, before the season started.
Yeah, in the
That kinda
preseason.
sucked. So we got.
Actually, no, it might be the Bills. Somebody looks. I can't remember whose punter it is, but he looks just like Bill Burr. Someone in the comments knows who I'm talking about.
Somebody will know. Last things about the Texans and Titans here. Hats off to the Texans defense. Finally getting that monkey off the back, stopping Derrick Henry from the monstrous 200-yard games.
He still has
It's good to see that over with.
my hat's been off the whole time in respect for the Texans because he really
Yeah,
did
that was a
really did
fumble.
us one big.
Yeah, we did call us that fumble. That was pretty nice.
That was a nice fumble. He totally ripped the ball out of Derrick Henry's arm. I think Derrick Henry needs to give up them sleeves, man. I know, he looks fresh on the field and all, but he keeps fumbling, and those sleeves are not very friendly for ball security.
Boys, you got
Sweaty
anything?
arms aren't either. Oh no, I mean just now we got a streak of how many weeks in a row of Derrick Henry fumbling now.
Too many. The guy never fumbled before this.
Yeah, I know, right? Before this season, I mean, the man fumbles like 5 times in his career, and now he's got like 5 weeks in a row with a fumble.
There's just I don't know, like Curtis said at the top of the show, he knew the Texans were going to win right in the beginning just because there's something about that day. And, there's a delay. And I had a lot of buddies at this game. They're like, the fans are just not in it. The players aren't in it. I think the whole Titans Nation is like pissed off. That really is. Like, I'm kind of mad because it's such an underwhelming team. Even when we're 7-3, it was underwhelming 7-3. But we're like, all right, we set ourselves up for success. Let's get healthy and then let's kill it at the end and build all the momentum at the end of the season like we should, like December Derrick Henry. And it hasn't been this way. It's been such a letdown. And J. Rob got fired. We haven't won since then. And it's been ugly. And I think even Derrick Henry's pissed. Kevin Byers angry, and so is Jeff Simmons. They just need to reboot next year, and because this season's dead. R.I.P.
We've got Jags fans asking how much it would take to get Henry. I'm like, no, we don't want him. Like he's getting up there. His running back years are numbered, and we've got young guys, and we can draft people. Like, don't be stupid. Like, why are fans dumb? No, I mean, the game itself. I mean, yeah, I was hoping that the Texans would win the whole time. I'm hoping the same. I hate the Cowboys, but I'm hoping they win. A little sneak peek there, but. With this game specifically, the Titans, good Lord. The Texans have a lot of young players on defense that were kind of showing out. They've got the offense. Surprisingly, Mills wasn't sacked every single play. So that was nice. That really helps whenever you're not being absolutely destroyed every play. I think Willis can be decent, but again, that O-line has to at least be decent for him to be decent. Just because he's got the arm strength. The dude's got a fucking cannon. And he runs probably like a 4.2 40. I mean, the dude's insanely athletic, but athleticism only gets you so far whenever you're running for your life as soon as the play starts.
It just has bad adjustment. He doesn't go through the reads.
No
line, no receivers.
Yeah, he's going to take a long time to develop because they don't have anybody to develop him with. I mean, he doesn't have veteran wide receivers that are, like he's got Robert Woods, but Robert Woods has never been a number one or never done, the XX and X. He was a number 5 guy on a Super Bowl team. I mean, he didn't really do too much. He was hurt too, but I mean, it's just Willis playing and having Downing still there. I mean, it's going to be a tough road for the rest of the year. I think the Texans really capitalized on that because when you have an offensive coordinator that's as predictable as the Titans are with Downing, and you've got a defensive head coach in Lovie Smith who's running cover 2 and just sending everybody at you saying, we got to stop Henry. We don't have to stop Willis. I mean, it's just a rough day for that because I mean Henry's going to get hit all the time. He's getting hurt. People are putting hats on his arm, constantly. And that probably led to that fumble. Was they ripped it out, but at the same time, when you're running the ball and getting hit every single play, and you got helmets hitting your arms, it just wears you down. But shout out to the Texans. Thanks for the win. But hopefully we can clean up. But yeah, that's really all I got.
Happy to help, Isaiah. Happy to help. I sneak peek into the preview here. I don't think you guys are going to win next week.
I do. You know why? Because
Doug
Doug Peterson's that guy that's going to go, we haven't earned it yet. We're not sitting anybody. And then they're going to go out there and be all fired up and Duval. Also, all but 2 of our wins have been home wins as well. So,
yeah,
play pretty good at home. But
yeah,
luckily, this one's away, and it is. We're going to be very angry. So, we'll see. We've been winning some away games this year, surprisingly.
I know. I mean, it's a pretty good season for the Jags. So let me, I appreciate that the Jags are a solid team.
Someone today in the Facebook trash talk group said if the Texans had won every 1-score game they've been in, they'd be 9 and whatever. And I'm like, and if the Jags did, they'd be 13-2. What's your point? Like, who cares?
Yeah. All right, let's talk Jags and Jets. Thursday night victors. First place in the division for the first time since 2016-17.
The first time since week 3.
Okay, fair enough.
But yes, 2017, yes.
Well, at least in this late in the year, let's say.
Yeah, definitely.
So, quite the season the Jags have put together over the final half of this season. Trevor Lawrence has put it all together. The offense has come alive. Efficiency is super up in Jacksonville. Pretty sure they're even going green now. But take it away, Isaiah.
Yeah, so I mean, luckily, yes, the offense is taken off. I don't think anybody has any concerns about the offense going into the offseason, really. Just another good week there. They controlled it. I mean, Trevor Lawrence came out and had that fumble early in the game, which looked detrimental, and then the defense bowed up and only let him have a field goal. And then they only crossed the 50 like 2 more times after that for the rest of the game. Trevor Lawrence came back out there. He looked a little frustrated, but he didn't let it get to him. He came back out there, led some drives, did some things. I really think we could have scored more than what we did. It just looked like we were being a little more conservative out there, kicking field goals, and then even going into halftime, pretty close to it. Doug Peterson opted for a field goal instead of to go for it on like 4th and 1 at like the 30-yard line or something like that. And even the person like interviewing was like, is there a reason like normally you would go for that? And he's like, well, you know what? I felt like we needed the points, and I felt like he could have made it, and he didn't. So whatever. We'll get back out there after the halftime. I mean, like week 4 of the season when we were getting beat by teams we shouldn't have got beat by, like close. He would have gone for that. He wouldn't have tried to get the points, which of course McLaughlin ended up missing the field goal. But if he makes that field goal, we're up 22-3 at the end of the game. But I mean, yeah, it was a good week. Our defense is starting to trend in the right direction. There's been a lot of takeaways the past couple weeks. We're back in the green on that side of things. We're back in the positive point differential after that absolute shellacking we got from the Lions. We are doing well. I mean, it was a rain game, which earlier in the season we had a rain game against the Phillies, Jesus Christ, the Eagles. And, Trevor Lawrence fumbled 4 times, and, it was a miserable day in the rain. Travis Etienne almost fumbled like 8 times this game. He kept bobbling it, like he kept getting hit. And he'd like finally get it and like go down. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude, just hold on to it. But sleeves and rain, it's like there's just, anyways. But yeah, no, so I mean, it was a good day. I mean, I don't feel like, besides the fumble at the beginning, I don't feel like there was any point in time after Jacksonville came back and answered with a field goal that there was any point in time I felt like we were going to lose that game. Yeah. Zach Wilson is awful. There were only a couple of media outlets that actually like gave Jacksonville credit for that one, and then everybody else, like 95% of the media, is like, Zach Wilson's terrible. What are the Jets going to do in the offseason? It's like, awesome, we're here. Yeah, it was a good game though. It put us a little bit further again in the race there. It was a big win to show we can actually play efficient football in the rain. Trevor Lawrence was 20 of 31, 221 yards, I believe, 51 on the ground. I mean, it was a good day. Lawrence ran a little bit, more act. He was a little bit more active. He only had like 1 carry more than his average, but he did a lot more with it when he ran. Had a lot of drops from Kirk and Zay Jones. Evan Ingram had another day. I'm really, he's probably playing himself into a 2 or 3, $12, $13 million a year contract when we clear some cap space this offseason. But yeah, I mean, even the defense, who has been, relatively lackluster, they were just, Zach Wilson was more of a statue than Matt Ryan out there. So they got to him a bunch of times. Talk about clueless, man. That was just, Andre Cisco came in on the sack that he got. And it was on Zach Wilson's right side, and he's a righty. And when I say like, he did not know he was there, he was staring this way. And I'm talking like Cisco just right into him. He should have dropped the football, but he didn't. But yeah, it was a pretty complete game. Doug Peterson wasn't taking a bunch of unnecessary risks. We were punting when we needed to punt. We were kicking field goals when we needed to kick field goals. Just another week of showing the Jacksonville's, having growth. They're going to be a dangerous team if they get into the playoffs. Personally, I think we are going to, with the state of the Titans and, the way we played against the Jets, who were considered a playoff team, and how great their defense is. They have a good defense, but, when you actually call PI on Sauce Gardner, they're not that good. But no, so it was a decent week though. We attacked Sauce a little bit with some movement and stuff, that secondary. We got the best of them a couple times, and Ingram just, holy crap, Ingram's been so good these past couple of weeks. But yeah, Lawrence is he's really mature and showing that he's not trying to make everything happen that doesn't need to happen. He had a couple of decently bad throws, or he had 1 sack, or almost sack, where he got absolutely killed at the end of the game. He tried to spin out of one and then saw another guy come, and he probably could have dumped it off sooner, but he waited too long trying to make something happen. But he's continuing to grow. Travis Etienne had a solid game on the ground. He's at exactly 1,000 yards on the season now after that game, so that's cool. Snoop Connor had a couple of runs. The rookie we drafted in like the 5th round, so it was cool to see him get some carries after he didn't even have a single snap. Or he had 2 snaps up until what week we play the Ravens? 10, 11, 12, something like that.
Yeah.
But he had like 2 snaps, no special teams, no nothing, no contributing until that game. He had like 3 in that game. But he's starting to get on the field a little bit more, so that's good to see because he's a big bruising running back. He's like 6 foot or 5'11", 230, 240 pounds. He's a big dude. So it's nice to see that. But yeah, I mean, just continue to build. One thing that sucks though, last week we lost Cam Robinson for the season. This week, DeJuan Smoot went down on a non-contact injury. Tore his Achilles on that turf out there. The worst person in the world turf. He tore his Achilles. It was confirmed yesterday or the day before he would not be coming back. It sucks. He's been really big for us, but we'll continue to move forward. We have a couple of guys. We actually had a guy we pulled off the practice squad the day before the game, Jeremiah Ledbetter, who came in and he played pretty well. But yeah, just solid all around game. Defense played way better than I expected them to, and they just continue to force turnovers. Foye Aluakin, his fumble was pretty funny. Whenever like Zach or Garrett Wilson like juked the shit out of him and he like fell over his knee and like his foot just like perfectly just knocked the ball out. Yeah, he's freaking he thought he was in the World Cup there. But yeah, I mean it was a good look. But yeah, just another good week. I'm excited and I'm hoping we can keep. That's just more momentum for us to keep going forward.
Yep. I've said it many times and I'll keep saying it. I mean, this is an exciting to watch Jaguars team. Mostly because everyone else in this division is just the most haphazard team. Like, I swear, anything that could go wrong with any of the other teams in this division has gone wrong. And the Jags have been at least a constant in what they're doing and the approach to things. And it's actually given their team somewhere to build from. And the consistency is, I think, what's helping the Jags more than anything.
Yeah, the Jags are kind of fired up, man. They are wanting to win. That's a team I'd want to play for right now, and they're exciting to watch. Even against the Jets, which that was a hard game to watch at times. Mostly not really from the Jags. It was mostly Zach Wilson, that just porous offense.
Yeah,
Jacksonville is looking good.
His replacement, Strevler.
Yeah, I've never heard of that man in my life.
I didn't know this man. I didn't know that could be a last name. People are just throwing shit together now.
Yeah,
they're definitely Matt LaFleur was definitely setting Zach Wilson up for failure on that one. Yeah, entirely different playbook. As soon as the backup who was just got on the team was in there, it's like I don't know about that one.
yeah. Zach Wilson, he should be able to master any playbook. He was the number 2 overall pick in the draft, and like compare him with Trevor Lawrence because they were back-to-back picks, and it's like, all right, which one would you rather have?
It's not. Jack Wilson's fucking terrible.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Jets should have never beat the Rams. They I saw a thing the other day. It was like this day last year or 2 years ago, the Jets ruined their chances of getting Trevor Lawrence and sealed their fate with Zach Wilson. I still think they should have drafted Justin Fields at number 2. Literally any other quarterback, but Justin Fields at 2 was definitely the pick. And they were like, oh. Well, Zach Wilson threw a 65-yard pass on the run in his pro day. Like, oh, he's got to be good. He's Mormon and whatever. Like, he fucks MILFs. Woo. I mean, that's,
And that was before that was in the scouting report.
Yeah, I know, true. Right?
They just
65-yard pass on the run and fucks MILFs.
Yeah, it was just hearsay at that point,
Yeah, there's like, we hear moms like him a lot. He really tests highly in that demographic.
I was watching the game. My wife, who doesn't watch football, walks up and sees Zach Wilson. She goes, "Why is that little boy playing football?"
He looks like a blonde, like young Tom Cruise, is what he looks
he's
like.
12. That's why he's
12-year-old. Yeah,
he's god awful. He cannot. Yeah, like oh my goodness.
It's his second year in the league.
He skipped a couple grades,
Yeah, it's a second year in the league, and this man looks like he I don't know, could get stuffed in a locker.
Straight from Pee Wee football to the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah, like at the day of the draft where he was standing by all those other players, like they're all like throwing up peace signs, and then he was just like looking all scared. Like I knew that, like I already knew he was gonna suck, but that sealed it. Like, this man he cannot be a leader of a locker room in the New York Jets. Like this dude's gonna get stomped, and he is. I've seen a lot of rumors where he's gonna be gone in the offseason and
Straight to Indiana.
Yeah, he's too young. Maybe in 30 years.
No, they'll kick the tires on him. Don't worry. They'll send 2 first-round picks. They'll send 2 conditional second-round picks. He'll somehow play enough for those to both become first-round picks, and then he'll be god-awful. Like,
no, I think you guys are getting Flacco. Flacco's your savior.
I said at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I think Flacco, he's the next one, unless, Fitzpatrick comes out of retirement. But a young guy, maybe Baker Mayfield or Jimmy G. I would be afraid of Jimmy G or, I don't know, David Carr might go there too, or Derek.
Perfect transition to the Colts game. What
Every
How the Colts
fucking person you named, I don't want any of them. Stop it.
You don't want Mayfield? Baker, the playmaker?
No, I don't want Baker.
What about Derek Carr?
I would take Carr if I was a Colt fan.
It'd be an instant
We
upgrade.
need mobility, man. The way the NFL is going, you need more of a mobile quarterback.
Derek Carr can run.
He's not immobile. He's not Tom Brady back there.
He's
are you
instantly
comparing
better
Matt
than
Ryan immobile, or like what are we talking here?
I
Just
mean,
so
look,
unclutch.
look at
Nothing
what's on
like
your
that.
roster.
4'6".
Look at what's on your roster. Is Derek Carr?
Well, it's a definite upgrade, but I mean, we're like,
I just hope you guys don't pursue Gardner Minshew. That's all I'm saying. If Gardner Minshew's on the Colts,
I do. You guys would be garbage.
No, Minshew's gonna win a ring. Just watch.
Oh, look. He's 20 yards down the field. Oh, no, I only threw it 18. Oh, goodness. Goodness me. My arm. I can't do it. He's got a noodle arm, dude.
Nick Foles today.
Hey, no, Derek Carr ran a 4.69. He's got 6'9" in his 40 time. He's amazing. He's perfect.
That's true. That's a really nice number.
He's faster than like 3/4 of the quarterback starting today. Like, well, I guess probably not anymore, but probably half. I'd say half.
Yeah, and he's tough. The guy doesn't miss games either.
He's country too.
Tough. I'll give him durable. Tough. Tough. You don't cry in press.
I've never heard him talk before, and then I heard that press. God damn it, man! I'm just frustrated. That's all. You come in here and you work hard, and I like Josh. Josh is a great guy, and I just come in here every day and I work hard, and I'm just frustrated, man. I'm frustrated because what we do on the practice field isn't showing in the game field. I'm like, bro, this guy is not from the South. What is going on right now?
I would like for the record to say that the Colts are what made him cry. Wasn't that the game where he cried?
He cried after the Jacksonville game. He tried. He played. He cried after a couple games this year.
Yeah,
that was a Colts game that made him cry.
Because we came back and beat him by 17, and then they were like, "Oh, what do you think about people asking for Josh McDaniels to be fired?" He's like, "Man, it ain't Josh's fault. We all love Josh." And I'm like, "Dude, what are you doing?" Like,
so you have to say that, or you'll get fired.
yeah, that's true.
No one's gonna be like, "Yeah, dude, my head coach fucking sucks."
Fuck this guy. Yeah, like, okay. Did you guys see that little moment on the sideline during the Broncos trouncing?
I was just about to talk.
Where Russell Wilson is yelling at people and pushing people around, and all of the offensive linemen are just like, bruh.
That was like when that defensive lineman came off the field and he said something to him, and he turned around and started like yelling at him, and Russell Wilson's like, all right, like, my bad.
No, I think it was like what's the backup, Ripien or whatever?
Ripien.
But he apparently talked some shit about the line, and that's kind of what triggered the whole thing. That they're letting him hit Wilson, and he said something to him, and it triggered the whole interaction.
Latavius Murray came in though. He's like, "Oh, don't touch my quarterback."
If you can call him that.
Anyway, any final Jets comments here?
Jaguars country, let's ride.
All right. Well, that leads
somebody got Richard Sherman, a little Richard Sherman doll, and it had a voice box, and he squeezed it on live TV, and he goes, "Broncos country, let's ride." And Richard Sherman's like, "Oh hell no!"
That's hilarious. Oh God. Let's move now to specifically talking about the Chargers traveling to Indianapolis, and I mean, look, this game was not pretty for the Colts. 20. I don't even know the final score because I turned it off. 20-3. Okay, just not a very good offensive output. Nick Foles making his first start as a Colt yielded nothing. Minimal results. At times, he looked pedestrian at quarterback and just uncomfortable and old, very old. So with that, the Colt season is official.
Oh, they were already eliminated going into this, I think.
Yeah, but not now. It's draft talk for show.
Yeah,
but Jeff, take it away, brother.
Yeah. So anyone clamoring for Nick Foles would be better than Matt Ryan. It was the same story, different chapter. It was abysmal. They went 3-and-out in the first drive, and the only reason that I think it was only like a 7 or 10 point game at halftime was because of their defense. But they can only do so much. I mean, Nick Foles threw, I think, 2 first quarter interceptions. It just looked like shit. Yeah, I think he only finished with like 143 yards. I mean, your team leading receiver was Jelani Woods with 3 catches for 43 yards. That's horrible. Zach Moss looked pretty good. He averaged a little over 5 yards a carry, but he only got 65 yards because they just stopped running the football. I said in the preview show that this was one of 2 things was going to happen. They're going to come out and just flat and do nothing, and that's exactly what they did. It was either that or, get a lead and then blow it in the fourth. But, yeah, there was no winning this game. They just looked terrible all around. It was nice to see Jelani. I mean, he got a couple of good, physical catches. Pierce seemed to be a little more involved. And I think I do want to talk about there was a hit on Doolin that when you play it slow, it was like, oh, that didn't look too bad. But full speed, dude, I was like, Jesus Christ, he might be dead.
Hit?
Yeah. It was, what's his name? Number 3. Derwin James. Yeah, man. Dude, it was nasty live.
Yeah, no,
he got ejected in that one. It was,
yep.
It was a pretty ugly hit. But
now there was nothing he was trying to do except for hit with his helmet.
He leaned with the crown of the helmet. It looked horrible. I'm surprised that Doolin popped up the way he did, to be honest. But, I mean, in this game, I think, again, the defense looked pretty good. Buckner, he was flying all over the field. He was making tackles way out on the sideline on running backs and receivers and shit. Like, he's an interior. Like, what is he doing? They're out there making those kind of plays, but he was all over the place. I think he finished with a sack and a half. And he's easily the anchor of the team. I know Franklin and Okereke that they're pretty great at linebacker, but Buckner's someone that we got to keep around. He does everything.
Yep. Him and Grover Stewart.
Yeah. It's a shame that Grover Stewart was snubbed. He was one of the best players on the defense for the Colts this year.
Yeah.
So he got snubbed out of the Pro Bowl.
Did any Jags make the Pro Bowl?
Not a single one.
Not even snubs.
Yeah, it was like
not even
Bears, no Jags,
Agnew.
Teams.
Yeah.
What?
No, it's been rough. We have three DBs in the top 10 players for pass deflections, and we didn't have a single player go, but it's all good.
We had Laramie Tunsil go.
Nice. Laramie Tunsil's good.
Yeah, he's very good.
When I say snubbed, I mean because we have I think like 5 backups or something like that. Make it what do they call it, alternates or whatever the hell you call it.
Yeah.
But the fact that I think Quentin Nelson went in and with the way the lines played, a lot of people don't feel he really deserved it. That was just like a name thing. Like everyone knows Quentin Nelson, but no one's gonna really vote. Grover Stewart, even though he's had a career year. But,
yeah.
But yeah, no one in Jacksonville getting a vote is.
Pro Bowl really means nothing.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing I'm not really worried about it because like the Pro Bowl is absolute. That's why they don't even have a game anymore. Cause it's fucking garbage.
The All Pro. I care about the All Pro when that comes out.
Yeah,
like
the All
that.
Pro is nice
All-Pro,
because that's
yeah.
not voted on by a bunch of fans who are putting their
Yeah,
personal
no.
feelings.
Yeah, I think
into
even
it.
like
For sure.
TJ Watt got voted in, and like he played 7 games or some shit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
So-
Will Compton trolled him really hard.
Yeah, absolute underdog story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Well, boys, you got any more Colts commentary?
Not
It
really.
sucks. Yeah.
It just sucked.
Not good.
Well,
I'm
all the-
glad that
all the-
Laughlin can make his 1 field goal. I don't know.
I just don't understand why you don't put in Ellinger. Just honestly, just get him some reps.
It's no difference. I mean, why send the guy out to die? It's
Just to get some film on him, honestly, just so he gets some
Yeah.
experience in the NFL.
all right, hold on. Now, live with me in a hypothetical for a second, okay?
No.
Let's just say, hypothetically,
Mhm.
that the Colts lose out
Okay.
and
They are.
the Texans win out. Who's
Colts
the,
are-
who's the new worst team in the division?
Still Texans.
Wait, no, because the Colts have what, 5 wins?
4.
No.
4. Oh, so you guys will be tied, and
We tied the Texans, and if we lose out, that means
Yeah.
we tied and lost.
they got swept by the Titans. So
So
you
probably
got
Colts
then
will win.
Colts will be the number 1 pick in the draft, unless the Chicago Bears don't win another game.
Which is very possible.
Yeah, very very possible.
See, in one of the most Texans moves possible,
I'm gonna
I could
fumble the
see
first pick.
that. I think we would have traded back anyway. Honestly,
My thing is like, there's no one worth the first overall pick to trade back for. Personally, like my view of it is like, who's gonna trade up for it? You know,
I don't think you take any of the first 3 QBs in that first
No.
overall pick.
you take
You can't.
Will Anderson, Alabama. I didn't call him Christian Harris this time. You see that? I did my homework. I know
Hey.
things.
Shouts Christian Harris. He got his first NFL interception last week.
What a
against the
guy.
Titans.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, if you're not number 1, you take Will Anderson. But we all know that you guys are gonna take Bryce Young and kick the tires on him.
If we take Bryce Young, he's just going to get destroyed and
Yeah.
broken
Yeah.
because he's smaller than Kyler Murray.
Is he?
Weight wise, yes. Kyler
That's
Murray is
skinny.
Oh
207.
yeah, he's like 100. Yeah, he's like 178 or 185 pounds, something like that.
Yeah, Kyler. At least he's he's thick. That dude's strong. He's just a minute.
Yeah, it's
he's
from
still
sitting on
hurt.
sitting on the couch eating fucking Cheetos while playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Like,
Thanks.
fun watching
Dude,
him
I-
at home.
condition.
though.
All
dude
right,
hasn't won a game since
Yeah.
Warzone 2 dropped.
MVP boys.
If we're talking, I mean, I could say Rodney Thomas because he got a turnover, but I'm still gonna go with Buckner just because how he was flying all over the field.
He's 6'1", 194. He's not that small. He can put that on in the NFL.
That's
Oh, you're
it's
still
not.
talking
That's
about-
there's no way that's accurate.
That
That he's that tall.
it's from Alabama.
Alabama beefs up their numbers.
He's probably 6 foot or 5'11".
We are going to find out exactly how tall he is during the combine.
Anyways,
And I guarantee it'll be like 5'10", 3/4.
I'd say Trevor Lawrence for my week MVP.
Okay.
Now you know what? Foye Aluakon's left shoe. That's who I'm. No, kid. Trevor Lawrence.
I started writing a little bit. All right. Blake.
I gotta go Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry or Autry, but I mean Derrick Henry, he had the big game, so I have to go with him, even though he had a fumble.
I mean, I can't fault that. Texans. I'm gonna go Petrie for the game-sealing interception.
Nice.
He was getting worked though a lot that game. He had a lot of good plays, but he was exposed a pretty decent amount of times.
I mean,
He's still though a heck of a rookie. I like a lot. I like Petrie a lot. He's gonna be a really good football player one day.
that is true. All right, folks. So we're gonna have the people flashing over our faces at the moment. So no, man, not the keep the that's gonna do it for episode 87. We're still in the hunt for 1,000 likes or 1,000. Well, 1,000 likes would be nice.
Yeah, that'd be
1,000
nice.
subscribers.
Pretty awesome.
That'd be fabulous. I'm not gonna lie.
Breaking records over here.
Yeah, go like 1,000.
Drop
Make
it,
different accounts. Keep
Hit
like,
yeah. We're still in the hunt for 1,000 subscribers. So if you could help us on that journey, we're 820 away after a huge last couple of weeks, and that's a huge shout out to all you people watching, liking, and
He
subscribing.
means the Jag fans, Duval.
It is predominantly the Jacksonville Jaguar fans.
Titans and Colts fans, we ain't coming. We're not watching any Titans content right now. No.
And Texans fans are just thrilled to be mentioned. So, without any further ado, thank you all for being here as a part of this show. Isaiah, Jeff, Blake, and thank you all for watching, and be good people.